Hour away from an incredibly high-stakes news conference for President Biden comes as calls grow for him to drop out of the race for president from people in his own party. Thanks so much for joining us. For the News at 6, I'm Corey Chambers.
And I'm Grace Gomez for Charlie Chan. There is a small but growing number of Democrats calling on President Biden to step back as a Democratic nominee.
Yeah, that list could be longer depending on what happens in an hour. Henry Rossoff joining us now. You actually went today, I know, talking to New York lawmakers, New York sort of Democrats to see what they think about all this. But let's talk about this moment, right? Because I'm thinking about historically, when have we had as many members of a president's party saying he shouldn't run again?
Well, especially this late in the game, especially a sitting incumbent. I mean, this aspect of it's almost unprecedented. This press conference tonight, which just got pushed to about 7:20, was supposed to be 5:30, then 6:30 keeps getting pushed, is exactly the type of event that President Biden's supporters says he needs to do to try to turn things around following that awful debate performance a few weeks ago. His supporters, including Governor Kathy Hochul, believe unscripted questions will show the sort of command of the issues, the president's ability to focus she's seen behind the scenes, and respond in swift conversation form to former President Trump. Democrats say Mr. Biden must especially shift the conversation to Mr. Trump, refocus on his opponent and what they call Mr. Trump's extreme agenda and authoritarian tendencies. I did press the governor about Mr. Biden is even physically capable of making this case. What in your private meetings leads you to believe you can tell the public he is not in decline and he can serve 4 more years?
The conversations I've had with him, he knows the issues affecting New York State. We talked about Gateway Tunnel. We talk about infrastructure. So I will just tell you what I have seen myself. I saw nothing to be concerned about in terms of his ability to make sure that we are victorious against Donald Trump in November.
And she was steadfast when I and others peppered her with questions, insisting that the president she knows behind the scenes is more focused than what we've observed publicly recently.
But, Henry, not all Democrats feel this way. In fact, Ms. Hochul's Lieutenant Governor, Antonio Delgado, came out yesterday and said the president needs to step aside from the good of the country. Yeah,
that's right. He did. It didn't exactly catch the governor by surprise, but she did only hear about it just a couple of minutes before it happened. There are a growing number of Democratic supporters, including the actor George Clooney. You talk about an actor, but he's a key fundraiser. He raised millions of dollars for Biden and Mr. Obama when he ran. They're wondering Mr. Biden can prosecute the case against former President Trump. Notable local Democrats facing tough re-election campaigns have said this as well. That includes New Jersey Congresswoman Mikey Sherrill and Congresswoman Pat Ryan of the Upper Hudson Valley. And to his credit, Mr. Ryan did come on TV. He spoke with us first here at Pix 11 and defended his criticism of Mr. Biden, asking him to step down.
We have to stop Trump, and we need the best candidate to do it. And unfortunately, because I respect President Biden deeply, personally, unfortunately, he is not the person to do that for us right now. And it's bigger than any person. It's just too essential.
I'll tell you what you just heard from Congressman Ryan on camera. We're hearing even more off camera, those of us that are engaging with the political types every day. There's been this drip of defections from Mr. Biden. Yeah, and you know what's interesting is, there are some people framing this news conference as make or break, but I have to wonder if maybe we're past that point, and perhaps what we see tonight dictates how ugly things get if there is this increased drumbeat.
Within the party.
It's entirely possible. Now, there was a favorable poll to Mr. Biden today, a good, high-quality poll from ABC, Washington Post, and Ipsos that showed him within the margin of error against Mr. Trump. So, a good press conference could maybe move the needle or delay what you're talking about, at least get him to the nomination. It's maybe just build step by step by step on the way back.
We'll be watching, that's for sure, and we're going to have it for you. Again, President Biden holding a news conference. Now we're hearing about 7:20. When it happens from D.C., you will see it here live on Pix 11.